Welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to explain a movie called Moana. In the film, Moana's grandmother, Take, tells the village children the story of Te Fiti, goddess, who shared the power of life from her heart with the people. Te Fiti was betrayed by Maui, a demigod, who stole the heart, after which darkness covered the village. In the wake of the darkness, Te Ka, a demon of earth and fire, confronted Maui. Maui was struck from the sky and went missing for 1,000 years. Tala explains that these events happened 1,000 years ago, and the heart hasn't been restored. If it isn't found, the islands will be lifeless. She reveals that one day the heart will be found by someone who will journey beyond the rift, find Maui, and deliver him across the ocean to restore Te Fiti's heart. Tala is interrupted by her son, Moana's dad, Tue, who is also the chief of the island of Motunui. He tells them there are no monsters and that they will be fine as long as they stay on their island, but his mother refuses. Meanwhile, young Moana walks to the sea's shore and sees a pretty seashell. She wants to grab it, but when she sees a small turtle struggling to move to the sea but is harassed by some birds, she leaves the shell and grabs a leaf as a shade to cover the turtle from the birds. She escorts it to the sea. The sea parts and brings seashells to her. The sea plays with her hair and brings Te Fiti's heart to her. Moana grabs the heart, but her dad calls out to her, so the sea returns her to the shore, and her dad picks her up. She loses her heart. Later, Moana tells her dad she wants to return to the sea, but he tells her it's dangerous. Tue sings to her that she will be the next chief, so she must learn to be responsible for the people on the island. All through the while, Moana runs back to the sea. Tala tells her that she may do all that her father tells her, but if she hears a voice inside her heart, the voice is who she is. Sometime later, Tue takes Moana to a mountain where she will place a stone to signify her rule, just like the previous chiefs did. Years later, Moana is now grown and has started training as a chief. She gets a report from the villagers that the lands are dying and there are no fish in the sea. As future chief, she offers a solution and suggests they fish beyond the rift, but her dad dismisses her because it's unsafe. Moana is annoyed about the incident, but her mother, Sina, explains that her dad is so strict because he lost his best friend to a severe storm after they snuck into the sea beyond the rift. Tue doesn't want the same thing to happen to her. Moana sings about her dream to cross the rift, fighting the urge to go the sea. She hops on a boat with her piglet pet instead. She sails beyond the rift and becomes overwhelmed with large waves that turn her boat upside down. In the water, her leg is stuck between sea rocks and she breaks free but is bruised. She eventually gets to the shore and sees her grandma. Moana accepts that her dad is right and decides to place her stone on the mountain, but her grandma is not bothered, believing fate will decide. Instead, she dances in the ocean with a group of stingrays, which she considers her spirit animals. Moana thinks her grandma is acting weird, but Tala takes her to a cave. At the entrance, Tala tells Moana to go inside and bang the drum. There, she will find the answers to the questions she's been asking herself. Moana goes in and sees boats and different paintings. She bangs the drum, and the paintings form the story of her ancestors, who were voyagers and explorers. She runs out in the excitement of the discovery and asks her grandma why they stopped voyaging. Tala says when Te Ka arose, monsters lurked around the sea, and the ancient chiefs forbade voyaging. Tala gives Moana the heart and tells Moana that the island chose her to deliver Maui across the ocean and restore the heart. The ocean greets Moana and Tala shows Moana stars that lead to Maui's location. Later, Moana interrupts her dad in the middle of a meeting and tells him they can get Maui to return the heart. He becomes furious and wants to burn the boats. She stops him, but he collects the heart and tosses it. Moana runs to get the heart, but when she sees her grandmother's walking stick, she runs to the house and meets her very weak on the bed. Tala gives her a necklace where she places the heart and instructs her to get Maui to restore the heart. Moments after, Moana packs her things and begins sailing into the sea. Tala appears to her as a stingray and leaves. Moana is on the boat the next day, practicing her speech to Maui. As she sails at night, her canoe collapses, and she wakes up the next day on shore. On the shore the next morning, she sees Maui, who kept interrupting her from delivering her speech. She hits him with the paddle and delivers the message. Maui says he has been stuck on the island for 1,000 years because he tried to give immortals the power to create life and believes Moana is supposed to say thank you. While singing for her, he tricks her into a cave and traps her with a massive stone. He then leaves with her boat, but Moana eventually gets out, discovering Maui is afraid of the heart. Moana taunts Maui with the heart when they are attacked by Kakamora, coconut pirates who wants to get the heart. Maui and Moana escaped luckily. Next, Maui makes a deal to get his hook and then restore the heart. They head to the realm of monsters, where Tamatao, giant coconut crab, has Maui's fish hook. On the way, Moana wants him to teach her to sail a canoe to deliver him across the ocean. After much debate, he gives her some training. Moana dreams that Motunui is destroyed by darkness, but when she awakes, they have arrived in the realm of monsters. Moana is used as bait to make Tamatao distracted while Maui gets the hook. Maui gets the hook but is unable to shapeshift. Tamatao wants to eat Maui, but Moana distracts him again, and they escape. Maui is scared that he may be unable to defeat Te Kā because he is unable to control his shapeshifting. Moana asks him how he gets his tattoos, and he explains that he earns them after an achievement. Moana begs him to join her to save her island from dying. He tells her how he became a demigod, explaining that he did everything to make humans love him, but it was never enough. Moana encourages him, and they agree to restore the heart, so they sail across the sea. Moana gives him the heart, and Maui wants to return it. His shape shifts to a hawk and flies toward Te Kā, but she sends fireballs at him. Maui is struck from the sky again. Moana tries to find him another way in, but he says they won't make it. She insists and their canoe gets wrecked. Maui's hook is damaged in the process, infuriating him because he warned her. Maui says he's not going back because he is nothing without his hook, so he leaves. Moana tells the ocean to choose someone else and returns the heart. Out of nowhere, Tala appears to her and apologizes for putting so much on Moana's shoulders. Tala assures her that she will be with her if she decides to return home. However, Moana doesn't want to leave, so she decides to restore the heart by herself. She gets the heart and begins to sail. She plans to restore the heart. As she approaches, Te Kā throws fireballs, but Moana makes her way past it. Te Kā is about to attack Moana when Maui helps her out. The water gets Moana to Te Whiti, where she has to place the heart in the spiral it belongs. She realizes Te Whiti is gone and sees the spiral on Te Kā. Moana calls out to Te Kā with the heart, which comes at Moana as the sea parts for dry land. Moana places the heart in the spiral, and Te Kā changes to Te Whiti. Te Whiti restores life to the island and thanks Moana. Te Whiti also replaces Maui's already destroyed hook after he apologizes and gives Moana a new boat. Maui gets a new tattoo where Moana is a master wayfinder. Moana hugs him, and they part ways. Moana returns to the village and places the seashell the sea gave her as her mark on the mountain, and the people of Motunui begin voyaging again. That was all from the video. Subscribe to this channel to watch more content like this.